All right, y'all. What is up? Your girl G here, and I am back finally to talk about Martha's Vineyard reunion. I really did not want to miss the reunion because I missed the reviewing the finale, but Texas for some reason is dealing with a lot of storming, and so literally power is going out. The storm is just like, and I would have done the video like on camera while I was out today, but it was just a whole lot going on. So plus as well, like it is a little bit past the time, so I just want to at least get it out there so you guys, can give me your opinion on what you thought of Martha's Vineyard as well, y'all. I saw that they trying to put them on pause, not them doing Martha's Vineyard like they did Dorit's. I am so upset. It seems that every time we get like a nice little cute black series, they want to stop it after season 2. Like I'm feeling like they use the black shows as like fillers because they know like the black audience is like retainable, like people follow the black culture, and so I feel like when they don't have other shows, they use like black series to kind of do like fillers, because it's not a coincidence that these shows are getting capped literally after season 2 or 3, literally every single time. But yeah, nonetheless, I really hope they do bring Martha's Vineyard back. We're gonna have to do a petition or something. But yeah, you guys, let's go ahead and get to the reunion because this it was a cute little yang yang. So first they got into summer or autumn, as Alex said. They jump right into it. Andy asked, "All right, girl, like Summer, you let the whole table know that he was inside you. Like, god dang, like that was kind of like, woo." And it threw everybody off. Of course, that's not something that is a dinner conversation. So of course they do the playback. And half of it, of course, is like Summer saying, it's what is, and then the other half is, her crying about, oh yeah, he's been inside me. I made him a bunch of times. Like, I think Summer caught the feels, and I really hate that because it it literally just proves the notion that men already have in their head, like you can't just hook up with women. But I don't think it necessarily was like the hooking up per se that got Summer, you know, clingy. Alex looks like one of them, like he liked to be affectionate. Like, so after we hook up, we may cuddle a little bit. We gonna watch a little something. At the end of the day, I'm still gonna tell you I'm an F boy. But while we together, I'ma do all the relationshipy things that get your feels, intertwined in confusion. And then when you start acting crazy, as most dudes do, when the girls start, acting a little, clingy or as they like to say, or clang emotional, it's like, see, that's why, we can't just hook up with men or be friends with benefits because, like girls catch feelings. It's not necessarily just the sex that makes women catch feelings. It's like, are y'all cuddling after? Are y'all doing things? And I think Alex is one of those dudes who naturally does like the suave, nice, knight in shining armor act. And Summer fell for it. Point blank period. I ain't falling for all that, ayahuasca, beating to the drums, dancing in the rain, with my it barefoot, little mask that he putting on. I see right through Alex. But it still doesn't change the fact that, Summer definitely put an expectation on Alex. Now, Alex was like, I told you, because Andy then asked, like, so who, put the kibosh on it? And Alex was like, I told her up front, like, this ain't something that I'm looking to get serious. And Summer was like, that's a lie. And y'all, I kind of do believe Summer. I feel like, yeah, up front he was telling her, like, yeah, this isn't going to be nothing serious. But when it came to the end, it's exactly what Summer said. It fizzled out, i.e., Alex did the Homer Simpson and just like slowly but surely ghosted for sure, which is why she was surprised when she didn't get the invite to his little, music event. She was like, oh, okay, like, all right, I see what's happening. I think, yeah, Alex, I peep niggas like you. Like, I can't with the fakery of the I'm not an F boy, but really an F boy. Like, I can't. But nonetheless, that did carry on, to Alex feeling like he couldn't one trust her because also the picture thing. And I do think that picture thing was kind of the nail in the coffin for Alex, because it's like you take a picture of me unknowingly, and yeah, like I get what Summer and Jordan were talking about. Like, yeah, when you be out, maybe like with your little side thing, with your little boo boo kitty, with your little sneaky link, you might try to like snap just like a picture of his arm, or like just something like just to send to your girlfriend's like, girl, look who I'm with, look who I'm with right now. And I think that is normal. Like Jordan stood up and was like, it wasn't nothing like that. But I do think, considering Alex's, circle being related to John Legend, like I think for him it's different because, when you're in that, in that circle, privacy is super important. So finding out somebody took your picture while you wasn't, looking at, how do I bring that around my folks? Like I can't have nobody like around that is, just sneaking pictures. And I think that's why maybe for Alex it's a little bit different. Um, but it still don't negate what I feel like he did. He definitely, I feel like, toyed just a little bit, with Summer. But Summer also, girl, you aren't meant for, sneaky links, because I don't want to say it, I hate to say it like that, but like you do have daddy issues. It's okay. Shit, men have daddy issues. Like they just show it a different way. But then we got to get to Noelle. So we started talking about, like, obviously Noelle, that kind of being the next thing with Alex, because Summer, when Noelle didn't know that Alex and Summer had hooked up. And they were like, well, Summer, did you tell her? She was like, I guess it was a miscommunication, because when I told her, like, oh, we hung out, I just assumed, that's what she got from it. And I'm not gonna, lie. Like, we grown, y'all. Like, when somebody says, like, no, girl, we used to hang out, or like, me and him, we used to hang, people typically, or at least for me, if a girl's like, yeah, girl, we used to hang out, like, I'm just gonna assume, girl, you seen the D. I'm just gonna assume that you seen the DICK. Now, because usually girls are very like upfront about not sleeping with a nigga. Like, if it's like, yeah, girl, we hang out, but nothing happened type situation. But she just was kind of just like, yeah, all we did, we just used to hang. We used to hang. I felt like Noelle. Then also too, like Noelle was so into the lobster, she completely missed when, autumn, summer, fall, Alex so shady ass talking about autumn. Like she off of P Valley, down in the valley when the girls get naked. Okay. But yeah, she was knee deep in lobster that she didn't even hear when, Summer blurted about how, he stuck the tip in. So when she asked her the next day, she was like, oh, I thought he tried to. Like, I didn't know y'all like, y'all did it. And she was like, girl, yeah. But Noelle, here's we gonna have to, your slip showing a little bit, because you did come in saying, like, girl, I don't do that. And they kind of brushed past it. But I think Noelle was just trying not to have to worry about watching herself get played on that TV. Because Noelle, you could tell, is just, she's the type of girl who was like, I'm not gonna let this nigga see that he played me, and that's unfortunately what happened, on the show. I definitely think producers hyped her up to go talk to Alex. They got her drunk, and then you go to Alex at the club talking about, oh, I was acting single, so I can get a little territorial. And it's like, dang, girl, like, y'all ain't even kiss yet, no nothing, and you already tell him about how you can get territorial and all this type of stuff. And it was just kind of like, oh no, poor little tink tink, oh no. It was just like watching a car crash. And that's when Noelle went back to her room crying, because she just, like, you could tell she was beating herself up. Like, I knew, like basically she showed her hand too early. I think she showed her hand hell early with the help of production. I really do. And so I think Noelle, yeah, you want to sit there and say, like, yeah, it wasn't like I was pursuing him. Yeah, but it's like, yeah, she's like, because we gonna be in the house, we gonna flirt. And it's like, yeah, it was, Noelle, like, it's okay, girl. Every girl have been finessed a few times, or or had to just deal with eating pie. Everybody has to eat pie every once in a while. But it still don't change the fact that Alex, I still got my good eye on him. But yeah, so then that obviously caused a rift between Summer and Noelle. But they are, better, but Noelle definitely is keeping her, at a distance, like a friendly distance. Okay. And what do they talk about after that? I think this is when we get to Amir, y'all. So Amir, Andy was on Amir's ears, and I'm here for every minute of it. He talking about Amir. Natalie, she cut your thing off yet? He's like, nope, still here. Everybody busted out laughing because it's true. Like, literally, Amir is just like the little. It's like her Natalie's little bus boy because he's just so, in his mind, just I'm just so proud to be with this boss woman. She's a woman who got it all. Not to mention, she's clear. She's an 8x11 or 8x11 adjacent. I don't know if she's strictly European or she maybe, one of them ones that got like a little, maybe like Armenian or Pakistan or something in there. I don't know. But nonetheless, she shows up to the world white, all right? And so yeah, it's like everybody knows Amir runs in circles chasing his own tail for Natalie. So then of course they get into Natalie on the show and their relationship. He talking about they done already moved into a place. They're oh no, they went to the trust party. That's what it was. They were like, Natalie got you on a leash. He's like, so does she trust you yet? And he was like, yeah, she trusts me. Everybody's eyes just rolled like, bruh, did you not watch that show back? Like, she does not trust you. And he was like, well, we're building trust. Like, this is, we've only been together for a year. Right. So if you're seeing it as we've only been together for a year, so like that's building trust, then what the are y'all buying a house for, Amir? How do you buy a house with somebody that you don't trust? You see how like Amir, I know he can't see the forest for the trees right now just because he's so happy to be with little Nat. But Amir, you can play like a fiddle because best believe the only reason that she with you is because you on summer house. Natalie got a vision. She already got the house. She's in the real estate business. I guarantee Natalie's one of them girls on her Netflix right now. I bet you if you go to continue watching Selling Sunset, Selling OC, Selling Tampa, all the sellings of sellings is on there. Selling London. She got a vision and a plan, which is why she came on the show doing it that she did. She said, I'm going to turn whatever little 5 minutes I got with Amir, hopefully turn it into, 50. But then the shit backfired because, girl, you came in too strong and too hot and spilling tea that wasn't even yours to spill. That's the problem, little Nat. The entitlement of the European women. It's just, they just can't help themselves. But nonetheless, Andy did ask, so, whose house is it? Who name on the house? And he started with, well, my name, it's under my name, but like the deed is it's hers or whatever. And everybody, really, you could tell was just like in the back of their mind, like, this shit is not going to work. Andy finally just was like, oh, what could go wrong? Andy then follows up with a good old, so when she is instructing you to propose, and everybody busted out laughing because we all know this is going to go according to Natalie's plan. And even before Amir answered about whose name was on the house, when he said Nat was on the deed, Jasmine was like, I thought so. Like, she said it low, but I caught it. She was like, I knew it was. Like, she just kind of said it lowly. But I caught you, Jasmine, because everybody know Amir is the definition of whipped. And there's not a bad reason, like, to be whipped by your wife. Cool. But in a good way, like, you love your wife, you are willing to do anything for her, like Russell Wilson type whipped. This is like a whipped, like, you don't even like let your balls hang in your relationship, Amir. Like, you don't put your foot down. And this is a different type of whip that you're so much so accepting disrespect. Now, when they brought up the fact that Natalie, did that little slick ass, I make in a month what he makes in a year. He wants to say, like, I know who I got with, like, I'm not emasculated by it. And it's not to say that a man can't be in a relationship with a woman who makes more. Absolutely not. It was just the tone and the context in which Natalie said it that kind of had everybody like, oh, like she was trying to big up herself, and it came at the cost of Amir. But because he's so blinded by love, he he's gonna eat that, even if he might really feel that way, because he even downed himself like, oh, I sell houses to, to the common folk. She sell big houses. And then it's like, to go from like, yeah, I sell houses 2 million and up. Cool. You could have stopped right there. But the fact that she had to top it off with the cherry of like, oh yeah, I'm making a month what he makes in a year. It just definitely was like, Natalie likes to beat up on her men. That's all I'm going to say. Point blank period. You can tell Natalie likes to beat up on her men. So yeah, Andy just finally asked like, so who here thinks like, Natalie's a good match for him? And when I tell you, crickets. Finally, Jasmine, I guess, decided to kind of be nice and just be like, well, I think they're cute together. And Shanice was like, yeah, they're cute together. It was like, that ain't the answer. That's not the answer Andy was asking, but okay. And Shanice was honest, was like, yeah, I think y'all are cute together, but do I think like she's the one? No. Of course, Amir is going to defend her, like, oh, it's our relationship, and we're the, only people who know it. And it's like, okay, you want to talk about trust and everything, but she sure was projecting at that house party. You couldn't even say Jordan's name without her get whiplash from turning her head so fast. It was tragic. But yeah, moving on. So we get back into Summer in the next segment, basically talking about her spiral. There is no other word to conduce, or like, what's the word I'm looking for, to properly describe what Summer was doing this summer. Ironically, what Summer was doing this summer was nothing other than the word spiraling. And so we do the playback, of course, and she said a lot of it had to do with her family. And then, of course, like, she was looking for her dad. Turned to find out the dude that said he wasn't, her dad really was. And, she's not looking to build a relationship with him. But that was just another thing that was like on the house of cards for her. And I do think Alex played a huge part in that emotional turmoil that she was having. Because after on Watch What Happens Live, I saw when Alex was on there, he said that they didn't actually speak, like, literally the whole thing. So it's just kind of like, oh yeah, like, I think Summer did not know how to interact with Alex after that, because Alex, you pulled a, Homer Simpson. You just kind of like ghosted. You slowly ghosted. That's really what you did. But Summer girl, like, I can't let you, it was, both of them just wasn't, the best. We'll just put it that way. It was just a recipe for disaster. But long story short, Summer basically went at everybody this season. And so Noelle was like, girl, I take people as they are. So you put your hands on me, like, we gonna have to like build this relationship back. But also, like, if you going through some shit, like, tell me. But I do agree with Summer where it's like, girl, I can't even tell like my closest friends, like Jordan and Preston. So yes, we are friends, but we're newer. Like, I don't know you. I didn't feel comfortable enough with you to just like spill my guts out. And so, I get that. That's a very valid thing to say. But nonetheless, it seems that Noelle is kind of like keep it cute with Summer. So we'll see how it plays out between them, if I pray they get a 3rd season. So Jordan, speaking of Jordan, y'all, we might have to let her go. We might have to, because Jordan didn't even give a shit in the reunion, y'all. Like, I really do love Jordan, but I don't think she's meant for reality TV. She did talk about the whole alopecia thing. But that really was it. Like, firstly, Jordan, that outfit, garbage. Who told you to wear that? It looked like you went to City Trends, Rainbow, and Ross all in the same day and put it together. And I hate that for you. The fact that Shanice looked better than you, and they talk about, oh, she was the worst dressed. Y'all, Shanice looked good. I really did like that dress. Like, when she was sitting, like, it was cute. And Shanice's makeup was on point. Noelle was cute. Summer's dress was super cute with her hair. I actually really liked Jasmine with that blonde. Nick was over there, okay, looking like a little zaddy, just a little bit, just a touch. Preston, I liked Preston's outfit a little bit, but the silk, maybe if the top was silk and the bottom wasn't, that would have been enough. Bria looked like normal Bria, Yeah, speaking of Bria, let's go ahead and get to that's what's next. Bria and Preston. So Bria and Preston, right now, Bria got Preston blocked. And as much as they keep saying, like, oh, we love each other, we love each other, you know, Preston, be honest, like, Bria, girl, you annoying. And Bria, sometimes you are annoying because you be extra AF. You do like being a brat. Like, because you pull that shit with Simon, you feel like you can pull it with everybody else. And it's just kind of like, girl, ain't nobody got time for that. That's why Preston blew up at the table. Like, why is it always damn yelling? Why is it always a problem? And so what we did notice too was there was a lot of bringing up of stuff that happened first season. Bria's still upset at Preston about a comment he made first season. And he was like, you know, I did apologize about that, but you know, I feel like I made up for that because, girl, when you was overseas getting locked up, like I was over here, you know, helping you try to get like whole international lawyers and everything. Like even your man wasn't no help. And she's like, he did help. He got me out. Okay, bitch, he got you out, but like that's just he picked you up. Like, did he help with like, you know, the bond, like the lawyer, like all of that shit? It sounded like he didn't. And then Press was like, I don't even think I gotta thank you. Truth be told, she's like, I did thank you. I don't think Bria said thank you. I think she maybe got her, oh, I love you. You know, you did this. Like, I don't think she, like, you know, Preston, I appreciate everything you did for me. I don't think she gave him one of those. And I think that's maybe what Preston was looking for. But nonetheless, I don't think that Bria should hold against him still that comment from first season when, as he said, like, I've shown to be like a good friend to you. And so then they, of course, speaking of Simon, get on to Simon because everybody is kind of feeling like, Bria, you getting used, you know, poor little Tink Tink, like, you know, little black Barbie, your white man, your multimillionaire white husband, you say don't need this fame, you know, he is giving, he likes the attention. And, you know, Bria tried to give the excuse of like, oh, you know, over there overseas, like they don't have, you know, shows like this. So to him, it's just like, you know, he loves it just because it's like something new and cool. I think for Simon in the back of his mind, you know, them white people, them Russians, them in Germany, them Russians, Germans, all that, they just like to party and have a good time. So to him, he's like, shoot, he thinking like he want to be MGK, like I'm a wild boy. I'm a wild boy. I think he just likes the attention for partying. But like Bree, like everybody trying to get him to see, but he also was seeing that potentially, you know, if something could come out of this for me, he definitely was interested because he was hot that he didn't get to stay for more than 3 days. The couples only need to be there for 3 days, point blank, period. Have y'all little couple, you know, little party, y'all do a little yang, 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 and then all the couples need to go home, period, point blank. But Bria, you know, you said that you already don't feel protected by your white man anyway. So the fact that you even with him, even after all of that, is buku. All right. So moving on, then we get to another strained relationship, which is Jordan and Jasmine. And I'm starting to realize once again from first season, after everybody watched Silas and Jasmine's relationship back, everybody definitely was looking, you know, out the corner of their eye. Let's just be real. And that rolls perfectly into the next shady question that Andy asked. Andy asked everybody straight up, like, did any of you guys like Miss Silas? And everybody's, you know, once again, another, you know, cricket moment. Jasmine, girl, we not gonna sit here and act like if you were at home and watched that shit back or how that man was treating you last season and thought that, you know, that was a good look. I'm sorry, Buki. Like, it just wasn't. And I think everybody, you know, seeing, okay, you know, especially for Jordan. And this is why Jordan and Jasmine's relationship did start to crumble, because Jordan's like, girl, I don't know this woman. You know, we used to go out party, kick it, yada, yada. But you got this man talking about, girl, where my eggs and bacon, you know, and then you can't even iron no goddamn pants right. Remember, you gonna have a covering. If you don't get it right, you this covering that you got. And I think Jordan already very much just distrusts men, very much in particular. And I think it has a lot to do with her growing up, but also I think a lot of people forget, like, she used to work in the Playboy mansion. She used to work be a Playboy model. And if you watch that Bunny series of the Playboy house stuff, the men, like, she is looking for every which way, like, a man could be deceiving or, you know, coming to her inappropriately, which is why she is, was very in tune with how Nick was like, damn, didn't get touchy, and even for Nick, it might not be intentional, but there do be dudes out there who try to be, slick and just find a way to put a hand around a hip or, so I think, Jordan seeing Silas act that way immediately turned her off to, unfortunately, her friend Jasmine. And so Jasmine saying, she wants to say it as, oh, she used to see me in one spot and, I have to evolve. It's giving, girl, I was single, now I'm in a relationship, I'm married, and now I got a baby. And I do feel bad that Jasmine was left out of the Jamaican trip, or like just the way it wasn't communicated to her, like for her to see everybody just went on this trip, like she said, like, damn, I was isolated, then not to mention her dude just, was deployed. So I can get why her feelings were hurt, which is why she asked Preston, like, damn, like, why didn't you tell me, like, you met the girls through me? And it's like, yes, you can garner friendships with these ladies, but Preston, you were close enough with Jazz and be like, these ladies are just kind of either feeling uncomfortable with you. Shanice was the first to say, I don't want her to go. I just think she just doesn't get, like, she just doesn't, her vibe, her energy just doesn't match Jasmine. And sometimes that's okay. I think they wanted to have just like a single trip. And had Jasmine came, she probably would have been the, oh, I can't do this. Silas probably would have been calling her every 2 hours, trying to see was she in her room. Like, I think in their mind they knew, like, we just didn't want to have to deal with the person who's in the relationship. And I feel bad for Jasmine with that, because as much as she's trying to say like it's an evolution for her, it also is like a death of a life that you kind of really, did get to miss out on. I'm not gonna lie, and I'm gonna stand on this. Silas got Jasmine pregnant on purpose. I think that motherfucker knew he was getting ready to get deployed. And season 2 was coming up, and he was not gonna have Jasmine out there with these girls again, single. I'm sorry, I'm going to stick with that. Like, it's just too, it lines up too coincidentally. It just does. And then also Silas knows that the way he looked last season was not good. And he was going to, of course, I mean, they love their safety net. The baby's always the safety net to where you can't go nowhere. That covering he loved to talk about. And I do think Jasmine really did go through probably a little bit of a depression. Like, she was at home pregnant and watching, them, because she said, she's like, I was really isolated. And I can feel, I feel, but that's, how it starts, Jasmine. Like, that's why we're trying to, like, we saw last season, we saw the red flags. But, girl, I just really hope and pray for you. It does not go the way that we kind of seen that it might. All right. So, moving on. Real quick, get into little Nat with her little misses. She went and told the business, spilled the beans. And long story short, Amir, like Noelle said, I get that you want to stick up for your girl, but she was being messy. Like, yeah, we were keying and saying stuff, but her starting with the thing of like, I knew Natalie was on some bullshit and it was about her insecurities when she started the conversation with them with, oh, Nick looked like he was trying to get into something. Helpful. He downstairs because you feel like, oh, Tasia went to sleep and Nick, he was just downstairs looking like he was getting into something. No, you were worried that Amir was going to get into something. That's what it was. So you want to project that onto Tasia and Nick. Now, granted, Nick still don't take away from the fact that, you were maybe unconsciously being inappropriate. But for what the girl's biggest thing was, it's just inappropriate for the fact that, like, dude, you got a girl. Like, you got a girl, which kind of rolls to the part next of, like, Nick and Tasia. Y'all, they broke up. And I hate to say it, but it was probably for the best. Nick, you had that girl because she was, reliable. She's cute. She's graceful. She's, smart. She loves me unconditionally. Yeah, that's, Nick, you're the different type of, player. You're the one that plays women based off of your wanting to see if you can catch the bigger fish. And first season was that, which is why you didn't tell the ladies that you did have a girl. You were thinking maybe you could, catch the Jordan or the, the Noelle or the Summer. Like, it was very obvious. And in this season, Nat trying to come up to her with the bullshit. I think Tasia just had enough. Andy did ask, was that it why y'all broke up? He was like, no, it wasn't all it, but, it did come up in conversation. Nick apologized for his being handsy and things like that. And nonetheless, you know, Tasia had to go bye-bye. And as Tasia, you really did save yourself, because I think Nick, deep down, you know, he was just, as they say, the placeholder. Dudes be saying that girls, they be having placeholders, and Tasia, you was one of them. But yeah, back to old Nat with whole miss ass. Amir's like, yeah, you know, she just, you know, was playing telephone, you know, as we all do. But like Noel said, okay, but she playing telephone with our business. And then not to mention, we told that bitch to keep her mouth shut. We said, nah, because she was like, she kept saying, do you want me to go tell Tasia? Do you want me to go tell Tasia? Natalie was trying to get her 15 minutes. And Amir, he was basically helping her do it because he wants her to be with him, i.e., she wants to be with him, because all he can think about is like, oh, you know, this is new for us, like, you know, this is our first time not being together. So it definitely was Natalie trying to figure out a way to go from 3 days to a whole week, like Simon. Amir, I'm gonna say this because we already know that you tried to put your job on the line for Natalie. He's like, Andy was like, oh, do you think she would love to try to, you know, fix the way people look at her? He's like, yeah, you know, if they would love to have her back, you know. Here's the thing, let's say Natalie comes back next season for a cute little 3 days. I mean, that would be entertaining to see the girls get into her ass, because it's definitely deserved. But she's gonna come back with her tail tucked between her legs, and we know that. But nonetheless, you know, Amir, you're missing the whole point of this being a black show. So you sitting here threatening, oh, if she can't come back, that'll make me think about my role. That's why everybody's like looking at you like, nigga, like you are just, you know, all skin folk ain't kin folk. We know that. And so Amir, you gon' fuck up trying to stay constantly eating Natalie's ass. But last but not least, there was a cute little segment where they talked about Shanice and her looks, and it brought up like, girl, Shanice, if you hooking up with all these high profile, why you ain't got no money? And Shanice was, I knew this was going to come up. But long story short, you know, I just hook up with the guys for sex. You know, it's just like, I'm not dating them. So like, I'm not trying to get money off of them. Shanice, you hustling backwards, baby. Ain't no way these niggas should be sleeping with you and you get nothing up off it. You was hustling backwards. And Summer was like, she was like, if I was such a bad dresser, why you asked me for my sweater? Bitch, Summer said, because I wear it better than you. I was like, ooh. Everybody was like, and but I think that's honestly where the episode ended. Like, just seeing where everybody's gonna like try to, you know, reconcile for next season. I know they're saying that they're on pause, but I really hope that they do bring Summer House back. What do you think about, you know, the guys' relationship? Who do you think will be able to rekindle their friendship? Nick, do get some type of tattoos. Get a nice little neck tat, because we definitely was, you know, a little more interested in you when you had a little bit of, you know, more little edge. We'll just put it that way, okay? You know, or maybe like a chest like, you know, on the chest, like get a little titty tat or something like that. It'll probably up your chances of trying to get you a Jordan when you wasted the time of a Tasia. Sorry I said it. But you guys, that's it. Follow my Instagram and Twitter. I will catch you guys later. And make sure that you drop down the comments over the video. Bye.